Syria's new prime minister said the Islamist-led alliance that ousted President Bashar al-Assad will guarantee minority rights in an interview published yesterday, also calling on the millions who fled the war to return home. Assad fled Syria after a lightning offensive spearheaded by the Islamist Hayat Tahrir al-Sham HTS group and its allies, which brought to a spectacular end to 5 decades of brutal rule by his clan. Syrians across the country and around the world erupted in celebration after enduring a stifling era during which anyone suspected of dissent could be thrown into jail or killed. With Assad's overthrow plunging Syria into the unknown, its new rulers have sought to assure religious minorities that they will not repress them. They've also pledged justice for the victims of Assad's iron-fisted rule, with HTS leader Abu Muhammad al-Zulani vowing that officials involved in torturing detainees will not be pardoned. "We will not pardon those involved in torturing detainees," said Zulani, now using his real name Ahmed al-Shura, urging countries to hand over any of those criminals who may have fled so they can be brought to justice. The U.S. General Assembly on Wednesday overwhelmingly adopted a resolution calling for an immediate unconditional ceasefire in Gaza, a symbolic gesture rejected by the United States and Israel. The resolution, adopted by a vote of 158 to 9 with 13 abstentions, urges an immediate, unconditional and permanent ceasefire and the immediate and unconditional release of all hostages, wording similar to a text vetoed by Washington in the Security Council last month. At the time, Washington used its veto power on the Council, as it has before, to protect its ally Israel, which has been at war with Hamas in the Gaza Strip since the Palestinian militant group's October 7, 2023 attack. It has insisted on the idea of making a ceasefire conditional on the release of all hostages in Gaza, saying otherwise that Hamas has no incentive to free those in captivity. Meanwhile, another report from West Bank said at least 35 people were killed by Israeli attack during the last 24 hours. News agency reports said Israeli bombers killed dozens of people, including women and children. South Korea's ruling party has thrown its support behind attempts to impeach embattled President Yoon Suk-yeol over his ill-fated decision to declare martial law that sparked a political crisis and widespread public anger in the country. The announcement came moments before Yoon delivered a defiant speech Thursday in which he attempted to justify his hugely controversial martial law decision and rejected growing calls from across the political spectrum for him to stand down. The People Power Party PPP had initially refused to back impeachment, hoping instead Yoon would resign from office. But its leadership said attempts to persuade him had made no progress. The main opposition Democratic Party is preparing a new impeachment motion against Yoon, with a vote expected as soon as Saturday. The president survived an impeachment bid last weekend when PPP members boycotted the vote. But after his party threw its weight behind impeachment, Han said PPP lawmakers were now free to vote according to their belief and conscience. A humpback whale has journeyed more than 13,000 kilometers from South America to Africa, which researchers say is the longest distance ever recorded for an individual whale. New research published in Royal Society Open Science recorded sightings of a male humpback whale initially spotted near the coast of Colombia and recorded nearly a decade later near Zanzibar, Africa. Co-author Tate Cheeseman said a whale biologist based at Southern Cross University said the distance traveled was unusual, almost twice the typical migration, and suggested the whale ended up way out of its usual range and population group. The discovery was made possible by Happy Whale, a platform Cheeseman co-founded, which enabled researchers, citizen scientists and whale watchers to record sightings and then identify individual whales by their flukes using a modified form of facial recognition. 74 cadet officers of the Bangladesh Air Force, including 12 female officers, received their commissions today. Chief of Air Staff Air Chief Marshal Hassan Mahmud Khan pinned the commission badges on the newly graduated officers who successfully completed their training at the Winter President's Parade held at the Bangladesh Air Force Academy in Jashore today. The Chief of Air Staff said the interim government, which was established through the mass uprising of the people, is committed to building a new and egalitarian Bangladesh. The present government is working tirelessly to make the Air Force stronger and more modern, he added. Chief of Air Staff Air Chief Marshal Hassan Mahmud Khan awarded the Academy flag to the best squadron, the Sword of Honor to the best officer cadet, and various trophies for achievements, including the Chief of Air Staff Trophy, Bir Shrestha Mutiur Rahman Trophy, Commandant's Trophy, and the Usmani Gold Medal at the President's Parade. An impressive flypast by the aircraft, an exciting aerobatic display, and a spectacular parachute jump by the Air Force paratroopers were held after the parade. BNP Standing Committee member retired Major Hafizuddin Ahmed Bir Bikram said the revolution of students and people has proved how brave the unearned people of this country can be. He made the remarks today while speaking at a discussion in the capital. Jatiyotabadi Mukti Joddha Dal arranged the discussion protesting propaganda and conspiracy against Bangladesh by Indian government and media. President of Jatiyotabadi Mukti Joddha Dal Ishtiaq Azizul Haq presided over the function, which was also addressed by leaders of its various associate organizations. Speaker said India has made all neighboring countries its enemies. All countries are out of India's circle now. Later, the freedom fighters brought out a protest procession against Indian aggression. BNP Standing Committee member Nazrul Islam Khan said democracy is yet to be restored despite the fall of the fascists. He said this while distributing winter clothes marking the 44th founding anniversary of Bangladesh Jatiyotabadi Krishak Dal in front of BNP office in the capital's Noya Palton today. Dhaka Metropolitan South Unit of the Krishak Dal organized it. Convener of Dhaka Metropolitan South Krishak Dal Muhammad Kamal Hussain presided over the function. President of Krishak Dal Central Shangshut agriculturist Hassan Zafir Tohin and General Secretary Shahidul Islam Khan Babul as well as central leaders of the organization were present. Member Nazrul Islam Khan expressed the hope that democracy will be established through free and fair elections. Speakers at a discussion in Dhaka said a total of 1,060 crore taka was collected as extortion every year from transport sector during the tenure of fascist Awami League. They called for ending such extortion. The call came at a discussion meeting today on stopping extortion and anarchy in transport sector and what to do in establishing genuine owner-worker leadership. Mass Transport National Reform Committee organized the program at the National Press Club today. The discussant said that the bus stands must be freed from the clutches of syndicate and accomplices of the fascists. They also recommended for creating business-friendly environment for the genuine vehicle owners by breaking looter mafia syndicate to avoid indiscipline on the roads in the capital. To end the bulletin headlines once again. The government decides to ban the import of e-cigarettes to protect public health and ensure safety of future generation. President of Timor-Leste, Jose Ramos Horta, to arrive in Dhaka on a 4-day official visit on December 14 at the invitation of Chief Advisor Dr. Mohammad Yunus. RAB expresses sorry to the affected families for enforced disappearances, killings and torture. It wants to be exonerated through a fair investigation and trial, says RAB Director General. Severe cold set in across the country, cold wave sweeping over various regions and expected to continue for a few more days. Legendary singer Papia Sarwar passes away at the age of 72, shocking the country's cultural arena. New Syria will be for everyone. The military will be restructured and war criminals will not be pardoned, announces new Prime Minister. And Bangladesh now batting against West Indies in the third and final ODI of the series in St. Kitts. And that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us.